I'm Mark Stevens, author of Government and Died on my website, of course, markstevens.net, the radio show, The No State Project, live every Saturday from 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time on LRN.FM, the Liberty Radio Network. And I got a follow up. It seems that this guy, Wesley Serra, is, I don't know. The only thing I can describe it is an obsession he and his buddies seem to have with me and my work that they just cannot stop writing about me. And, I go to the back end of the website and I can see, things, I can see the traffic that's coming, and it's coming from his postings. And that's the only way I know about it, because otherwise I don't care what he has to say. But he's lying again. And since I have a real problem with people lying about my work publicly or lying in general, I want to refute him again. And also because you see it as a teaching tool, because people may think that just because he's a lawyer and he writes things that look good, that they're actually true. But just a little bit of critical thought and analysis, you can see that Wesley Serra is he's just hateful and dishonest. I don't know what the basis of his obsession with me is. I don't know. I don't care. But we're going to go through this. We're going to further discredit him and show his lies. Again, so that anybody thinking that this man has any credibility whatsoever, he doesn't. And if you're thinking of giving him any money, don't. You're better off keeping it in your pocket and doing it yourself. I guess it's caveat emptor there, buyer beware. But what he's lying about is this motion to dismiss. Now, I had originally thought that all they would do is say, oh, it's just a traffic ticket, and try to marginalize it. Now, his lie is that I've never had anything thrown out. Every time, regardless of the success stories, which is pretty damn deep now, regardless of all this evidence of tickets being thrown out, even in Ireland, none of that matters. Because according to Wesley Serra, every single time this information that I have, my motion to dismiss, every time it's brought up in court, every time it is denied. So even though I posted the proof, which is right here, it's a decision in order granting the motion to dismiss, he says this is not actually proof at all. So let me go to the lie that Wesley was telling. Here it is. And of course, he's quoting this from my forum on markstevens.net. But this is on Quatloose. And you can't miss the irony here. A wise man proportions belief to the evidence. He says, judge directs ADA to respond to motion. Dumbass ADA responds by simply telling the judge that he should deny it. The judge, understandably pissed off, decides to teach dumbass ADA a lesson. He points out that the ADA's response contained no law, no facts, no argument, and grants the motion. It is and will be perfectly clear to everyone in the real world, in other words, not here at markstevens.net, that the judge who wrote this order was not agreeing that he had no jurisdiction or that the state had no standing or anything of the kind. He was sending a message that he expected to be taken more seriously than this ADA took him. Now, on its face, if you don't know too much, you figure he's a prosecutor, he probably knows pretty well. But the fact is, the motion to dismiss was granted and it was based on a lack of evidence proving jurisdiction. So whatever message he wanted to send to the prosecutor, the final say is the evidence here, and that is, he granted a motion to dismiss for lack of evidence. That's the legal effect, whatever Wesley wants to read into it. And so when you say something like this, Wesley, when somebody is in court and they say something like this, that's called speculation. So if you're in court, you would object and, of course, say speculation or assumes facts, not in evidence. This is an opinion. There's absolutely no evidence to support this. And then, of course, he's got to take the shot at me. Again, the man is completely obsessed with me. Seems completely obvious except to Stevens. Well, I want to just take a moment and go through this faulty logic that Mr. Serra likes to use, which is really all that he has. let's see. But first, I want to point out one of his lies, because the man cannot stop lying about me. It's really something, Wes. You really should get look, you can't prove me wrong on any of the facts that I've posted, so you just focus on your family or something. Just, if you got some real, just focus on something else. This is sick. I think you need help. You just can't stop lying. Wow, I just noticed that Stevens, in the blog post, either deleted or never posted what led up to the order. When read together, there was only one possible interpretation. So he then puts the documents leading up to that. Where Wes is lying is that the documents he's posting there, he took from my website. They're right there. That's the one document. Boom, there's the prosecutor's response. So this is his response. So, of course, I didn't take them off the website. They're all there. Wesley, you're just a lying, hateful man. The pleadings submitted by defendant have no basis in law or fact and therefore should be denied. Now, it doesn't bother Wes at all the fact that prosecutors have responded this way before, and the judge has agreed and denied the motion. But there's something interesting going on here that not everyone may be aware of unless they actually go to this ridiculous website that Wes is posting on. Because let's follow the logic here. Wesley Serra, and that's him right there, and his friend Dan Super Evans' lawyer, Dan Evans, he's the super lawyer. If what you're looking at here are the descriptions of the typical quote-loose lawyers, in particular Dan Evans and Wesley Serra. They have described my motion to dismiss and my questioning of evidence as trash, frivolous. They've described it as garbage, nonsense. They have said it is gibberish, and my favorite, legalistic gibberish. That's right, legalistic gibberish. In fact, Dan Evans was recently on NPR talking about claiming that somebody's arguments were gibberish. They're not plain English, they're gibberish. So if you go to their website and you do a search for me, you will read all the vile things that these two lawyers have said about me and their associates. So everything that I have on this website is garbage. Okay? So keep this in mind. Now let's check Wes's logic here. Okay? All right, here we go. 1, my motion is garbage. 2, the judge orders the ADA to respond to my gibberish anyway. 3, the ADA agrees it's garbage and lacking in merit. 4, the judge is pissed off and grants the motion to teach the ADA a lesson. Can you see how that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever? Are we to believe that after the Quatloose guys have given their professional opinion as attorneys that the motion to dismiss is garbage, it's nonsense and legalistic gibberish? Somebody please, I can't wait for the lie that these guys are gonna. Someone please tell me if it's garbage and gibberish and is denied by every single judge. Why in the world would the judge actually order the ADA to respond to garbage? Explain the logic behind that. Why would the judge order him to respond to garbage? I tell you, you see, because Wes is obsessed. There's no logical reason. But Wes would have you believe that with no evidence whatsoever, you don't have a shred of evidence there, you hateful little man. You're just assuming. You're assuming facts, not in evidence. Yeah, you know what the judge meant to do. Maybe because the judge did that to you a few times, but that doesn't mean that that's the case here. Judges are not in the habit of ordering prosecutors or any litigant to respond to a frivolous motion or something that is garbage. And plus, if it's garbage, his response was absolutely appropriate. You don't file a formal response. You file a motion to strike. You don't actually respond to something that is frivolous. You just point out, hey, this is frivolous, because if it's truly frivolous, it requires no demonstration. So it's almost as if Wes is kind of admitting that the judge saw merit to the motion. And if he saw merit to the motion, Wesley, then why wouldn't he have granted the motion that he saw merit to, other than just instead of just doing it to send a message? See, it doesn't make any damn sense. Wes, you're a hateful little man. Get over this disgusting, sick obsession that you have with me. Any examination completely falls apart. If the judge thought, like Wes, that this was complete garbage, he wouldn't have ordered a response. If he saw the merit to the motion, then he's granting it because of the merit to the motion. So either way we slice it, Wes, you're just a hateful little lying man with a sick obsession with me. So get over it. You're wrong. You lied. I didn't delete the stuff off the website. And two, again, if the judge thought there was no merit to it, he wouldn't have ordered a response. If he saw the merit to it, then obviously he granted the motion because he saw the merit to it. So go away. If you've got legitimate complaints and arguments about what I've presented, then present them. Until then, or get over your obsession and actually hit me with some facts and logic. Okay? But those are some of the tricks that you can get from these attorneys. Examine their actual logic. Look at what they're actually saying and ask yourself some questions. Is this logical? Is this sound? You got to ask these questions. Is there evidence? Is this sound? Is there logic? Does this make any sense? Because it doesn't make any sense for the judge to order an ADA to respond to a motion that is frivolous or is just garbage and legalistic gibberish. But I don't expect Wes to care about that. I'm sure they'll get linked back to my website, some stupid lie that he's made up about me again, because, hey, right? You can't get over it. If you disagree with what's in here, you think Wes's logic was sound, you think it is supported by evidence, you can be a live broadcast on my show, or I will go on a live broadcast of your choice. You, of course, will have to set that up, and this way I am not in control of the broadcast. Not that it matters, because anybody can go to the No State Project's archive, and you will not find one example of me cutting a critic off. So, unless it was swearing and making... Anyway, but I don't do that. Again, my name's Marc Stevens. Wesley Serra is a dishonest little man from the Bronx. Not a shred of evidence, no logic whatsoever. And you can read about more of him here at marcstevens.net.